All right, so I know what you're saying. You're saying that was a huge fail, and you'd be right. So, in my defense, though, I woke up at like 4 in the morning and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I am pretty tired. But I don't want to leave you hanging on the SE Inferior and really trying to make a point about it. So, SE Inferior is the present. And I want to make something really, really clear. Understand this, and you'll understand SE Inferior. And whether or not that sounds like you, whether this is a problem for you, whether you're an INFJ or an INTJ, if you're struggling to find your type. SE Inferior is new information, right? Everything that we're talking about in cognitive functions is information. If you can think of it like that instead of behaviors, and whether or not you open the door for someone or whether or not you like certain games, forget all that. It's how you perceive and judge information. And with SE Inferior, what we're talking about is the present, and the way that you're going to kind of put that into terms of information is that it is new information. And with NI, the INFJ, INTJ tend to be in this kind of, like we said, Carl Jung calls it the collective unconscious. And you're in this kind of unconscious state, and there is really no time. And so for them, they tend to kind of be able to cast themselves out and want to be lost in that collective unconscious. And like I said, this is a very unconscious process. They're not actively thinking. It's just kind of this passive meditative state. So new information, and that can involve the senses, right? So a loud sound, somebody who keeps coming and interrupting their thought process, right? That can start to get very annoying because they're like, yeah, I can't kind of get back into my natural state. But I don't want to get stuck in the sensory, because too many people do that. They're like, oh, SE Inferior, the 5 senses. And yes, of course, that's part of it. But what really trips them up is new information that they didn't see coming, because INFJs and INTJs tend to think that they don't want to have to be in the present. So their natural inclination is to plan, is to make sure that they see everything coming, they know what's coming, so that they don't have to do their inferior, which is reacting in real time and having to come out of that collective unconscious and into the present and like really focus, because they suddenly have to deal with something, new information. And if you can understand it that way, you'll understand SE Inferior, and you'll be able to see if you're trying to decide whether you're INTJ or INFJ and go, does that sound like me? Do I get stressed when presented with new information or these outside tasks keeping me from those inner thoughts and having that kind of inner peace? And so they aren't actively planning, they just see it. And if they can, they will plan ahead and maneuver things so that they don't have to deal with that in the future. And so they get very annoyed when something comes up they didn't expect, they didn't see coming. That's a shock. That's SE Inferior. I'm going to do a much bigger deep dive on SE Inferior, and we're also going to be talking about what makes the INFJ the sage. This channel is about helping people understand themselves and others better so that they can improve their relationship. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, a journey you want to be on, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.